The first time someone told me no, I was 7 years old. I wanted to join the boys' soccer team at school. The coach looked at my mother and said, "We don't have girls on this team." My mother squeezed my hand and walked me away. I cried the whole way home. That was rejection number 1. I didn't know then that I'd need to count 999 more before my life would finally change. My name is Maya Torres, and this is the story of how I went from being everyone's biggest disappointment to building something they said was impossible. But I need to warn you, this isn't one of those pretty stories where everything works out quickly. This is about the ugly middle part. The part most people don't talk about. The part where you're not sure if you're brave or just stupid. I grew up in a small town in Arizona where everyone knew everyone's business. My father left when I was 9. Just packed his bags one Tuesday morning and never came back. My mother worked double shifts at the diner on Route 40. And I learned early that life didn't care about your plans. In high school, we fell in love with computers, while other girls were passing notes about boys. I was teaching myself to code in the library after school. My guidance counselor, Mrs. Patterson, called me into her office junior year. She had my college applications in front of her. "Maya, honey," she said, with that voice adults use when they're about to crush your dreams gently. "Have you thought about becoming a teacher? Or maybe a nurse? Computer science is very competitive and expensive. Maybe you should be more realistic about your options." That was no number 47. I'd been counting. I applied to MIT anyway. The rejection letter came in a thin envelope. No number 83. I went to community college instead, worked nights at a gas station, and transferred to a state school after 2 years. My computer science classes had 40 students. 3 were women. By graduation, I was the only one left. The job market in 2008 was brutal. The economy had collapsed, and nobody was hiring, especially not young women, with no experience and a degree from a school nobody had heard of. I applied to 72 companies, 72 rejections. I was up to no number 155, and I hadn't even started my real career yet. I finally got a job at a tech company in Phoenix. Support desk, answering phones, resetting passwords, explaining to angry people why their email wasn't working. It wasn't coding, but it was something. I told myself it was a foot in the door. My manager, Derek, was the kind of man who called women sweetheart and talked over us in meetings. I pitched him an idea once, a way to automate some of our most common support tickets. He barely looked up from his phone. "That's cute, Maya, but let's leave the technical solutions to the engineers." "Okay." No number 203. I stayed at that job for 3 years. 3 years of watching less qualified men get promoted while I was told to smile more, to be a team player, to wait my turn. I taught myself 3 new programming languages in that time, built projects at night in my tiny apartment, and kept applying to engineering positions. Every single rejection email felt like a small death. But here's what I learned about rejection that nobody tells you. After the first 100, you start to go numb. After 200, you start to get angry. And after 300, something shifts. You stop taking it personally. You start to see it as data. What does the data tell you when 300 companies say no? Either you're the problem or the system is. I decided to bet on the system. I was 28 years old when I finally got an interview for a junior developer position, junior, after 6 years in tech. The interviewer, a kid who couldn't have been more than 23, asked me to solve a basic algorithm problem. I solved it in 3 different ways. He seemed annoyed. "You're overqualified for this position," he said. "But also, you don't have enough traditional engineering experience. It's a bit of a puzzle, isn't it?" No, number 387. I went home that night and ugly cried for 2 hours. Then I did something I'd never done before. I called my mother. "Mia," she said, "you know what I learned working at that diner for 20 years? Some tables will never see you, no matter how good your service is. Some people have already decided who you are before you open your mouth. You can keep serving those tables, or you can open your own restaurant." My mother, who never finished high school, had just given me the best business advice I'd ever received. I started freelancing, built websites for small businesses, charged barely enough to cover my rent, but I was coding, really coding. Every project was a chance to prove myself, and every satisfied client was a shield against the no's that kept coming, because they did keep coming. I pitched a local startup on being their technical co-founder. No, number 412. I applied to accelerator programs. No. Submitted proposals for contracts. I never got. I pitched investors on ideas that went nowhere. But something was happening beneath the surface. My freelance clients were referring me to others. My portfolio was growing, and I was learning something crucial: how to build a business. When I was 31, I had an idea. I'd been working with small businesses for years, and I kept seeing the same problem. They needed custom software solutions but couldn't afford the big consulting firms. There was a gap in the market, a space between the expensive enterprise solutions and the cheap, generic templates. I could fill that gap. I spent 6 months building the prototype, a platform that would let small businesses customize their own software, solutions using a drag-and-drop interface, backed by clean, professional code. No coding knowledge required for them. All the coding done by me. I called it Bridgepoint because it bridged the gap. I needed funding. I put together a pitch deck, practiced in front of my bathroom mirror until I had it memorized, and started reaching out to investors. The first investor meeting was in a glass office overlooking downtown Phoenix. 3 men in suits, all old enough to be my father. I pitched for 20 minutes. I showed them the demo. I showed them the market research. I showed them the 5 small businesses already using my beta version. It's an interesting idea, the lead investor said. But honestly, we're looking for something more scalable. And we typically invest in founders who have more experience. Maybe come back in a few years. No number 521. The second investor asked if I had a technical co-founder. I explained that I was the technical co-founder. I'd built the entire platform myself. Oh, he said. Well, who's going to be the CEO? I am, I said. He smiled, not a kind smile. No offense. But do you really think you have the business experience to run a company? I listed my 6 years in tech, my 3 years of freelancing, my MBA courses I'd been taking online. Right, he said. But have you ever actually run a company before? It was the stupidest circular logic I'd ever heard. I can't run a company because I've never run a company. No number 522. I pitched 37 investors that year. 37 no's. I was up to rejection number 558, and I was running out of money. My freelance work was barely covering my bills. And I'd maxed out to credit cards keeping Bridgepoint alive. I thought about quitting. Really thought about it. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe I should get a real job, accept my place. Stop reaching for something that wasn't meant for me. But then one of my beta clients, a small accounting firm, sent me an email. They just landed a major contract because my software had made them look so professional and organized. They wanted to pay me. Really pay me, not the friend discount rate I've been charging. Your platform saved our business, the owner wrote. Whatever you're charging, it's not enough. That email kept me going for another month. I changed my strategy. If traditional investors wouldn't fund me, I'd find another way. I'd bootstrap, grow slowly. I raised my prices. I got serious about sales. I turned my 5 beta clients into 10, then 20, then 50. Each sale felt like a small victory against every no I'd ever received. Each client success story was proof that I was right and they were wrong. But it was brutal. I was working 18-hour days, coding, selling, doing customer support, managing the books. Had no team, no safety net, no backup plan. Just me, my laptop, and a stubborn refusal to quit. Year 2, I hit 100 clients. Revenue was steady. Not spectacular, but steady. I hired my first employee, a young developer fresh out of college. Her name was Jessica, and she reminded me of myself 10 years earlier. Why did you hire me? She asked on her first day. I applied to 60 companies. You're the only one who said yes. Because I know what 60 no's feel like, I said. And I know they don't mean anything about your worth. Year 3, something shifted. A tech journalist wrote an article about bootstrapped startups. And somehow Bridgepoint made the list. It wasn't a big article, just a mention. But it was the first time anyone in the press had noticed we existed. The article brought us attention. Other journalists reached out. Then podcasters. Then, unexpectedly, investors. The same investors who'd rejected me 2 years earlier was suddenly interested in this exciting new platform. I took meetings, not because I needed them anymore, but because I wanted to look them in the eye. One of them, the one who'd asked if I had the business experience to run a company, sat across from me in a coffee shop and pitched me on why I should take his money. Bridgepoint is exactly the kind of innovative solution we look for, he said. Like he hadn't rejected me when I'd sat in his office begging for a chance. I smiled. That's interesting, I said, because 2 years ago, you told me I wasn't experienced enough. What's changed? He had the grace to look uncomfortable. Well, you've proven yourself now. You have traction, revenue, a real business. Right, I said. I built all of that without you. So why would I need you now? I didn't take his money. That felt better than any yes would have. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because just when things were finally working, just when I thought I'd beaten the odds, everything almost fell apart. It was year 4. We had 500 clients, 12 employees, and real revenue. I'd been featured in Forbes, Inc., and TechCrunch. Bridgepoint was being called one of the fastest growing, bootstrapped startups in the Southwest. And then our largest client, a regional retail chain that accounted for 30% of our revenue, was acquired by a national corporation. The new parent company had its own software solutions. They canceled our contract. 30% of our revenue gone overnight. But that wasn't the worst part. 2 of my key developers, the ones who knew the codebase inside and out, got recruited by a major tech company. They gave notice the same week. And then, because the universe has a sense of humor, our main server crashed. A catastrophic failure that took down the entire platform for 48 hours. I spent those 48 hours on the phone with angry clients, apologizing, explaining, begging them not to cancel. I spent those nights rewriting critical code, trying to patch the system back together with the team I had left. Jessica found me in the office at 3 in the morning on the second night, my head on my desk. We're not going to make it, are we? I sighed. She sat down next to me. Do you remember what you told me when I started? That 60 no's don't mean anything about your worth. This is different, I said. This isn't rejection. This is failure. No, she said. This is no number whatever you're on now. And it's just another one you're going to get through. I'd stopped counting. Somewhere around 600. I'd thought I was past the nuzz. I'd thought I'd won. But Jessica was right. This was just another no. The universe saying, not yet, not this way, try again. We got the servers back up. We offered all our clients a month of free service as an apology. We hired new developers. We diversified our client base so no single contract could threaten us again. It took 6 months to stabilize. 6 months of barely sleeping, barely eating, wondering every day if this was the day it all collapsed. But we didn't collapse. We adapted. Year 5, we were stronger than we'd ever been. The crisis had forced us fix didn't know we had. We built redundancies, created better processes, developed a culture of resilience. And then something unexpected happened. One of the investors I'd rejected, a woman I'd met at a conference, who actually understood what I was building, reached out. "I'm not pitching you," she said. "I'm just curious. You've been profitable for years. You could keep growing steadily on your own. Why not sell? Cash out? You've proven your point." It was a good question. I could sell Bridgepoint for enough money to never work again. I could finally rest. But that night, I thought about my mother, still working at that diner at 65 because her social security wasn't enough. I thought about Jessica and my team, all the people who'd bet on Bridgepoint when they could have worked anywhere else. I thought about the small businesses using our platform, the ones who reminded me of myself, trying to build something against long odds. And I realized I wasn't building Bridgepoint to prove a point anymore. I was building it because it mattered. Year 6, we crossed 1,000 clients. Year 7, we expanded to 3 more states. Year 8, we were nationwide. Year 9, we went international. I stopped counting the N's somewhere along the way. Not because they stopped coming. They never stop coming. But because I realized they were just part of the landscape. Like rain, you don't count raindrops. You just keep walking. Last month, I spoke at a tech conference in San Francisco. After my talk, a young woman approached me. She couldn't have been more than 22. "I've applied to 73 companies," she said. 73 rejections. "Everyone says I should give up, maybe try something else. Did you ever think about giving up?" I thought about Mrs. Patterson telling me to be realistic. I thought about Derek dismissing my ideas. I thought about all those investor meetings, all those job applications, all those times someone looked at me and decided I wasn't enough. Yes, I told her, every single day for about 10 years. "So how did you keep going?" I thought about that. Really thought about it. "I didn't keep going because I was brave," I said. "I kept going because I was too stubborn to let them be right about me." And then, somewhere along the way, it stopped being about proving them wrong. It became about proving myself right. She nodded, but I could see she didn't quite believe it yet. She was still in the middle of her nuz. In that place, where each rejection feels personal and permanent. Can I tell you something? I sighed. That number, 73, it feels huge right now. It feels like the universe is sending you a message. But it's not. It's just noise. The only number that matters is the last one. The final no before the yes that changes everything. And you never know which one that is until it happens. "How many no's did you get?" she asked. I smiled. I honestly don't know. I stopped counting around 600. But it was more than 1,000 before everything changed. Her eyes widened. 1,000. At least, I said. Probably more. And you kept going. Well, I said, I'm here, aren't I? She thanked me and walked away, and I hoped I'd given her what she needed. Not false hope, not toxic positivity, but the truth that this is just hard. And it stays hard, and you keep going anyway. Today, Bridgepoint has offices in 12 cities, over 200 employees, and serves 10,000 small businesses across 3 countries. We're valued at over $300 million. I still own the majority of the company. I still code, sometimes. late at night, when everyone else has gone home, just because I love it. Last week, I got an email from one of the investors who rejected me in those early days. He wanted to congratulate me on our latest funding round and ask if I'd be interested in mentoring some of his portfolio companies. I thought about saying no. It would have felt good, that final reversal. But instead, I said yes. Because I've learned something in this journey. The no's you receive don't define you, but how you respond to them does. And I don't want to be the person who lets old hurts turn into new rejections. My mother retired last year. I bought her a house in Scottsdale with a garden. She spends her days growing tomatoes and telling her friends that her daughter does something with computers. She's proud. I think, though she doesn't fully understand what I do. Mia, she said to me last time I visited, did it turn out like you thought it would? No, I said honestly. It's better and worse and different, but it's mine. She hugged me. That's all that matters. Sometimes, late at night when I can't sleep, I think about all the versions of my life that could have existed. The one where I listened to Mrs. Patterson and became a teacher. The one where I gave up after rejection 300. The one where I sold Bridgepoint and cashed out. I don't regret any of the no's. Not anymore. Because here's what I finally understood. Every no was shaping me, teaching me, preparing me for the moment when I'd finally be ready for a yes. The first time someone told me no, I was 7 years old, and it broke my heart. The 1000th time someone told me no, I was 32 years old, and I barely noticed. And somewhere between those two moments, I stopped being the girl who needed permission and became the woman who gave it to herself. That's the real story. Not that I overcame rejection, but that I learned to live with it, to use it, to let it make me harder and softer at the same time. They told me no 1,000 times, and then everything changed. Not because the no's stopped. They never stop. But because I did. I changed. And that made all the difference.